Unfiltered Romance Nights. We are your hosts, Colleen.
And I'm Marjorie. For tonight's episode, we have dark romance author Brooklyn Cross. She writes romance books with unhinged male characters and fearlessly strong female characters who can definitely hold their own. Welcome to the Unfiltered Romance Nights podcast, and we are so excited to have you.
Thank you, and thank you so much for having me.
Yes, definitely. We were excited.
So, before we discuss this month's featured series, The Kings of Wayward Academy, we have a few icebreaker questions for you.
Uh-oh.
No, no, they're not bad.
Not like that bad. It's not bad.
These normally make me sweat. It's like truth or dare.
No.
Oh, here we go.
I don't think this will be tense.
No, so we'll start easy. How did you get started in your writing journey?
That's actually a really long story. I will try and make it as quick as possible. So I've always written. I've always loved to write, but because of just some learning disability issues, I have very severe dyslexia. I suffered with they probably have a different acronym for it now, but short-term deficit disorder when I was younger. So being an author wasn't really on my board of this is something that is obtainable for me. I was also very into writing, and I was I was very heavy into competing. So that was where my focus was. But in my early 20s, I ended up having to make the decision to step away from professional competition. And anyone who has a passion like that you're so involved in for so long, because I started writing when I was 6, you'll understand that when that happens, it's like you've lost a whole identity, because it's what you did every day, all day, 7 days a week. And so I really felt like I was just drowning. I was floundering, and I was looking for, and I was bouncing around from job to job. Like, I have done everything under the sun. And I picked up writing again, mostly for my mental health, because I just love to write. And I had all of these emotions that I didn't know how to deal with, that I just wanted to put down on paper in a fun way. And didn't have any real ambitions of bringing a book out. It was just writing. And I actually wrote a story that I broke word. It's over 2 million words.
Oh my gosh.
And it's actually a vampire series, and I'm actually in the process of rewriting it and bringing it out in sections. So yeah, I want to get at least half of it done before I start releasing it, because of just how long it ended up being. And I did side character stories and everything. Like, I'd be like, okay, I want to do so-and-so story. And I just would write their story. And it was actually a girlfriend of mine at the time, and my uncle, I had just randomly said, could you read part of this for me and let me know what you think? And they did. And they're both like, you can tell a story. Like, you should try it. Why not? What do you have to lose, basically? And that's what started it. So I have since not like pulled that. I didn't end up going forward with continuing on that original series, but like I said, I I'm now rewriting it. I'm kind of plotting it out. It's not just written as one giant long story that would be like this big. Yeah, so that's really exciting. I'm excited to bring that back out eventually. But yeah, that's kind of what kicked it off was that, and just this random conversation with my uncle, who he's actually an author, but he's not anything into romance. He's strictly a horror writer, and he was teaching a course at one of the colleges, a writing course. And so I thought, if I was going to have somebody take a look at it, I should have somebody that I trust, and just to get their opinion. And yeah, so that's what happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a great story. Yeah, that you overcome disability and, the tragedy of not being able to ride anymore. So, and look what, and we're thankful.
Well, that's good. That's good. At least all these crazy characters in my head have a purpose now,
Yeah. So since this is your kind of like your full-time career, correct?
It just is,
Oh, okay.
actually. So I was working full time up until a month ago.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Yeah. So I am just newly a full time. I would still say I was a full time author. It's just that I was putting in full time author hours and full time job hours
Wow.
to try and get to the point that, I could step away from the day job and just do this, because it was really starting to take its toll. I do have an autoimmune issue, and spending that many
Oh,
hours at the computer, or I mean, like the marketing and
Right.
whatever else that you need to do, just to kind of get seen or known. It was starting to become too much.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Understandable. But
Yeah.
congratulations for doing, having this a full time
Thank you.
now.
Yeah, I actually haven't announced it anywhere other than here. You are
Yeah,
the
there you go.
first.
I
Oh, yay.
did. We get to spoil something. Usually,
Right?
it's like most of our episodes are like non-spoiler or anything like that. So we get to spoil
Yeah.
something. So in between the time when you're writing, um, when you have time, do you have any hobbies that you do, kind of like to unwind?
Not a whole lot. I live out in the country.
Mm.
So my big thing is that I just like to go outside and spend time outside. Um, I go like for walks with my dog, or we'll go for walks with friends. I will take my computer outside or my notebook outside and my cup of coffee. I'm fairly quiet 95% of the time until I'm at like a signing or something. And then it's like a kid in a candy store, because I get to see everybody that I don't normally get to see. But yeah, no, normally it's just reading or writing down more notes of my own that I want to kind of get out, that are in my head for maybe a project that's like 2 years away, but I just really want to get it down before I forget it.
Right.
Or spending time with my animals. At one point, I had 14 horses here.
Oh wow,
Oh, wow.
that's a
So
lot.
I had like all that to do, but because I had, once I left riding, I was doing a little bit of like small breeding, like a small breeding farm. But my stallion passed away a couple years ago, so I got rid of all the mares, and yeah, that was sad, because I had him since I was 12 years old.
Um,
Yeah, so that was a really tough time to.
Mm.
It was kind of like it really felt like it was like the final door in a whole chapter of my life.
yeah.
It was a really weird sensation. But yeah, so sorry, didn't mean to make this a downer, but yes, no, so I was spending time with like my animals, and I do still spend time with my dogs, and so I guess that's my hobby.
Oh. Do you have you have no horses left then?
No, I got rid of all of them.
Mm.
And now I only have so in the winter, until probably about a couple weeks from now, I have two bulls here. And then they go over to our other farm to start breeding the cattle, the cows over there.
Okay.
But in all winter, I've got these two great big dopey bulls here. So that's about it. We have some some weirdness, farm
That's so
stuff.
funny.
Yeah.
Um, so you said you do read. What would be your go-to books or go-to authors when you find the time to read?
Honestly, for me, I go back to PNR.
Mm.
Um, because that is my first love. So I'm addicted to J.R. Ward. I love her to pieces.
Oh.
And the Black Dagger Brotherhood series is like my go-to. I have like reread the book so many times. My books are falling apart. I also the series won't continue because he's passed away now, but I was really into the Sword of Truth series by Terry Goodkind, and it's another really long series, and it's more, I would call it a little bit more like high fantasy. Like, it had romance to it, but that wasn't a main focus. But between the two, I kind of have always hopped back and forth. And then some Clarissa Clare, oh my goodness, Eva Chase. um there's so many different people that are kind of like my comfort books, really. Like,
Right.
even if I'm not looking because I know I won't make it through a whole book,
Right.
I'll just be like, well, I'll pick up this one, and I'll just kind of like read the first half again or something like that if I don't have a whole lot of time. But yeah, usually I end up going back to PNR, and I don't tend to read what I write,
Mm,
which is
yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know why.
No, you know what?
I
You're
can't even
not the
answer that.
first.
Yeah,
You're not the first. A lot of
majority of
authors, I guess, feel that way. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Mhm.
So there we go. I guess I'm not the abnormal. I
Yeah. All right, you said J.R. Ward, and I'm a big fan of J.R. Ward too. Um, which one of the brothers is your favorite? Who's your favorite? If you can pick one. I haven't finished the whole
I
series yet, so
okay. So from the brothers, I do love Hollywood
okay.
and Darius reincarnated.
Oh, John Matthew.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay.
But my favorite, because he's so off the wall, is actually Lassiter.
Okay, I haven't read his yet, but like he was sprinkled in here and there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you sort of just see him throughout the series,
Mm-hmm.
and with him not really being one of the brothers, but just always there. It was yeah, he's kind of like, but he just there's something about his character that
Okay. I mean,
I just
he's
vibe
very
with.
funny. Like if
He's very
from
funny.
what I remember,
Yeah,
I'm rereading, trying to reread the whole series, but
I
like
do
he's
like them all though.
mm,
Like Zadist, I mean,
yeah,
he's like the true, like more of the dark romance
yes,
character. You know,
very
the brooding guy, and yeah, I mean, I love them all. I love them all, but I think the storylines and like reading the storylines, they were sort of my favorites. And then yeah, I don't know why, I just
yeah.
love Lassiter. He makes me smile.
I mean, I love Wrath, of course. Like he's the very first one. He always like when you get introduced. But Zadis is my favorite. I think it's because like storyline wise and how he gets his happily ever after, even though he didn't want to have that happily ever after. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and she was just like a really strong female character type, and I love that. So
Have you watched the TV show yet?
I'll be honest, I'm really scared to. I've heard some people say they love it. I've heard other people say no. I have such a strong image of who the characters are in my head. I'm terrified to watch it cuz let's face it, other shows or movies, if it doesn't hit,
Yes,
then
yeah.
Right.
kind of ruins it for you forever, and I'm so in love with the books and the characters. I'm kind of scared.
Yeah. I've seen like people because they're watching it, so they're like putting it on TikTok, and I was just like, it's like kind of want to watch it, but not really because it's like every time like I see the characters and then like thinking back when I'm reading it, I was like, it's not the same because
Well, and the guy in Hollywood, like me for Hollywood, he's got long hair, but they keep showing him with shortcut hair, and I'm just like I can't.
well in
I know, I
Hollywood,
know.
I don't know like I when he was described, like the reason he was called Hollywood because he was like that hot guy. Like no offense to the actor, like please don't like come for me, but like I just can't see it. So, but I was just like, and I don't know if I know they're tall, but like for some reason, like across the screen when they're showing them on screen, it's like they don't come across as like super tall.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing is with passion flicks, they have these actors that they use in a lot of the movies and or series that they do. So like I know a few of them from other things I watch, so they might have been limited to actors who would be available.
Yeah, well, that would be like short reels too, because you always see the character, like the actors regurgitated through all the different series over and over again. Yeah,
Those are so cringy, but like once you like start watching, it's like, come on, give me the whole thing. Like, but they're like,
they there is something like,
I
I'm
love
sorry, they're
them.
like visual crack. Like I don't know what it is, and I'm like, this storyline doesn't even make sense. Like I would be like, I can't even, but I can't stop watching it.
right?
I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I like the Chinese version of them because like they will do them, and I'm just like, not realistic, cringy. if I was this female main character, I would have slapped or punched somebody at that point. Like, I'm not taking whatever you're doing, but it's kind of like, no, I must keep watching it. It's like, why am I watching this? It's like,
I found a TikTok page that, don't ask how I find it. I'm like the FBI when it comes to like finding things, that gives you each episode. So you get the whole story. So I'm just like scroll, scroll. I'm
you should
watching it,
send me
all of
those
it.
because sometimes, like, the
I
ones
will. I will.
that pops up, they're like, oh, now you have to download the app and then pay. I was like, man, I don't want to like spend that money, but like, it's like
Yeah,
that train wreck that you just can't stop watching.
that is exactly what it's like. Yes.
Hmm. Anyway,
We got sidetracked. We always do this.
I know. Your turn.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this one would be like, well, I know you said, your uncle read it, but like, do your other friends or family know and or read your books, and what is their reaction to it? I guess.
For the most part, no. I have one cousin that reads all my books when they first come out. No, sorry, two cousins, sorry, that read all my books, pre-order them, all the things. But no one else does. Either they're not into reading at all of any kind, or it's not their thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
even my uncle, every now and then I'll torture him and I'll be like, read this. And he's like, I don't read romance. What are you giving me?
No. Did he read what was the co-write? Not the co-write. It was like book 1 and 2. Was it Unhinged Cane? Twisted.
I don't know if he did or didn't. I'll have to
Yeah.
ask him. I'll have to ask him. Yeah.
Because that
He already knows I need some help.
That.
I couldn't even put it into the right words. It deserves a word that I can't think of, but a good word, but it's
just not coming.
it's
Now,
That book.
let's be clear. Let's be clear. I did not write Twisted Able, so the
No, you
unusual things that were done to the bodies was all Tara's fault. Okay, let me be clear. But yes, it's
Yeah.
I call it being on the other side of Criminal Minds.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, all joking aside, it was perfectly executed, and it was like watching one of those shows for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I
I
love all
remember
those
them
shows. So
chasing her.
that's kind of what I envisioned in my head when I started it, was that it would have that feel to it, but you were just kind of rooting for the bad guy instead. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember the scene. I'll never forget the scene where she's running. It was like it was on the property,
Yeah.
and she's running. I'm like, girl, you're not gonna make it. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. Like, that would be me. I'd be like,
keep going,
forget it.
but yeah.
You're just like, you know what? Just take me. I'm not gonna make it. It's
I'm not
kind
a
of
runner.
like it's that
Well, and she was. That's the thing. But what she didn't know is that he's been training beside her to make sure that he could train at the same speed, that he could catch her and keep up with her.
Oh my god, it was so good. It was like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but with a love story.
oh my god.
Yeah, I don't see that making short reels anytime in the near future.
No.
But
Well, hey,
It
could
good,
be a
though.
movie. I mean, like, come on, like we have
Yes.
gory movies out there, and I love gory
For
movies.
sure.
it really could, because it could fall into sort of like that twisted. It's like a twist on a horror movie,
like if
right?
you
They totally could.
have you watched Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses?
I have not.
That is not even like, I mean, it was good, and I was like actually surprised that I watched it. I was, because I'm a horror fan, and my husband's like, I don't. This is sort of horror, but not really. It's more like gory, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it, but like I actually enjoyed it. I was like, it's weird, it's different, but I was like, you're rooting, like at the end of the movie you're like rooting for the bad guy, because then they have their own actual movie called The Devil's
Okay.
Rejects. And I was like, I actually love, like, they're horrible people, but you're rooting for them. And I think there's something wrong with me that I'm like enjoying this, and I'm like, they need to get out, like, like survive this stuff. But
That's so funny. Yeah.
So I actually do not watch horror movies. Yeah, I cannot watch them. I've never been able to. I think it's because I have such an active imagination. They
Oh.
just they set me right off. Like, I as soon as the music starts, like those first few notes, my heart starts to race, and then by like 5 minutes in, I'm hiding behind a pillow and nothing's happened. And I'm like,
I
okay,
know.
this is impossible. Why am I doing this to myself?
yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
because I grew up watching them, like at very young age. I grew up watching them, so they're my go-to. It's like comfort for me. So like when my husband, like, I tell him, it's like, hey, come on, let's watch this, and we will watch something, and he's like, I don't really want to watch this. Like, I don't want to do this. And I was like, well, it's my turn to, like,
My
do,
turn to choose, and this is
right.
what I want. Yep.
Yeah. And
Mm.
I went on a kick like during COVID where I was like watching horror movies, and we would all watch them. They're like hiding in the pillow, and I'm like falling asleep because I was getting bored. And they're like looking at me like, what is wrong with this chick? Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the person that's already left the room to go make
Same.
popcorn and eat it in the
In
other
the
room.
other room.
That's me.
That's too funny. Oh gosh. Oh, this is a new question. If you could live in any of your books, which book or series would it be and why?
I have so many different worlds. Oh boy. Um I guess I would go with Wayward,
Okay.
and because I really love the Academy and the characters that I've built, so I think that would be why.
Okay.
But there's a lot. There's a lot, and I love Greed too. I love the world, like, again, because the whole PNR thing and him being a fallen angel, and he just cracks me up too. So that would be kind of fun as well in its own weird way. But I think I go with Wayward. Okay, final answer, Wayward.
Final answer.
And we're
Locking it in.
locking it in.
I'm locking it in.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, I could see that because I mean, like, it is dark romance, but because they're a little bit younger compared to like when you're reading, it's mafia, but like when you're reading the older, like the adult mafia, they're more like all action kind of thing compared to,
Yeah,
yes, there's still action, but it's not as bad as when you're adult.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's got a lot more layers, and the fact that it's white shoes, it just
Mhm.
Makes it
it,
better.
it yeah, we've got more to choose from, and
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go to the Kings of Wayward Academy like questions. So each book in the series have a major common theme, and that's the cliffhangers. Will I don't know if you can,
that's every book,
right?
but yes.
If you can answer this or not, whichever. Will Volatile King put us back together or still continue?
I'm just going to say, prepare thyself.
Oh
My
my
God,
gosh.
I knew it. I was just like,
Dang it.
I read the blurb and I was like, this is, it's either I'm gonna be okay or not okay kind of thing.
Not okay.
Like I
That's
really,
actually why I was late, because that's what I was working on.
Oh
mm,
shoot.
Yeah, yeah. See, so I was in the groove, and I was just
oh,
working
And now
away.
we ruined it.
we
No, no,
apologize to the
no.
readers. We
Quick,
apologize
go back to
in
writing.
advance. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I would definitely, I would definitely prepare yourself for
Okay.
the most amount of twists that you've seen coming yet,
Okay.
and why Queen's Gambit is where it is will suddenly make a lot more sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right? That's the problem is some people kind of deemed it as being a prequel, but it's not, because there's too much in it that explains what's going on in Volatile and then onward and into Vexatious. And you couldn't put it in the beginning. It would make no sense to anybody. And putting it at the end is redundant. It'll make a lot more sense once Volatile comes out why it is where it is.
Okay.
It kind of
That's
also, I feel like it also gave us a little bit of insight.
yeah. Of
In the past, like, because
in the past, you get to
yeah,
see all the characters that you're seeing now as adults. What
yeah,
it really kind of, like, for example, when you are in a world and you're like, where did this family feud start? Right? How far back does it go? Where does the treachery begin? Right? It opens that door. That's what Queen's Gambit really was for. It opens the door to show, if you're paying attention, to show what all was going on, because it's going to play very heavily going forward.
I liked it. I was like, I like the. I'm trying not to spoil. I like
I know it's
the
tough.
story in it. Like, even especially the romance. I was just like, oh, why?
Eddie
Like,
Eddie
Eddie is
is
just like, and I'm just like, once you read the end, I was just like, oh, but I knew, like, yes, you get a glimpse of it, but if you read books 1 to 4, you already know what's gonna happen, kind of thing. And I'm just like, like, no, like, but like,
I know.
yeah.
It is. It's you can almost prepare yourself, but it's also harder in some ways to prepare yourself for what's going to happen.
Yeah, because you get that romance aspect, and you're just like rooting for that story, but you kind of also like being able to like almost like know, like, okay, well, at least I'm not gonna be super sad, kind of thing. But at the same time, you're like, but what if? Like, but what
I know
if?
the what if.
Those what
Can
if?
we choose an alternate ending
Right?
here,
Is
please?
there like an alternative in here? Like, I know this is mafia. It's not like, what was it, fantasy or anything? But what
Yeah.
if? So,
Yeah, but it will. Like I said, people will make it'll make just a lot more sense. I couldn't explain it because without giving away why it is where it is, but it'll make a lot more sense. And yeah, I can't really say what's going to happen. I don't want to give anything away, but I would just prepare to be WTFing.
okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh well. Yeah, but you'll eventually, someday, you'll give us. We'll be put back together eventually.
Yes. Yes. I do promise. Yes.
All right. Well, you know what? That's the enjoyment of it all, the ride. Because it's once you get to the last book and the last page, you're like, well, shit, now what?
Right. That's one thing of like, if it's like a series where it's all, one couple, whatever, like the relationship is all one, relationship. I always dread the last book because it's like, I know it's gonna have a happy ending. I know it will answer all my questions. But then what am I gonna do with myself after that? So sometimes I'll take a while before I end it, like, and then I'll just reread to get to the ending because it's like I'm not ready to end.
Yeah, I'm not ready to let go. Yeah. And I actually, that's part of the reason why I love long series. Like, I know not everybody does. They'll like the individual standalones or whatever. But myself personally, I usually, if I'm going to try a new author, I usually pick a series that has lots of books. I'm one of those oddballs because when I dive into it, I want to live in that world for as long as possible. So, yeah, that's usually what I personally go for. So I think that's kind of why Wayward is built the way that it's built too, is because I naturally gravitate towards following a group of characters, falling in love with them, being able to stay there, and just like live through all the trials and tribulations with them.
One thing I would say though, like I enjoyed reading the series. Like I
Mhm.
read them back to back in within a week. I was just like I thought I was like because I wasn't like in the mood for like sometimes you're just not in the mood for white shoes. But I was like, you know what? I'm like I'm gonna read this. But I was like giggling and like laughing at some
Yeah.
points, and I was just like, and then you ended. I was like, okay, what's the next one? I was like, I don't care what time it is. Like download the next one and just like started reading. And I was like texting her. I was like, I have like because we would be texting, what are you reading? I was like, I'm still in that series. Like, I'm gonna live in this series for about a week.
You're like, I'm here. I'm just here. Yeah.
I don't have my return ticket yet. Oh. Um, so this question's interesting because Ren is I personally I'm very tough. Marjorie and I are both very tough when it comes to main female characters, but she was a great character and her strength. So what was her inspiration? Like how did she come alive to you?
Um, I don't have a solid answer for that. When I first conceptualized Wayward, so I'm a pantser. Okay, so I don't plot. I know certain things that I wanted to have happen in Disobedient Pawn.
Mhm.
Where that was going to end up leading, I had absolutely no idea. I'm as clueless as everyone else. Okay. Maybe that's why the twists are good though, because I don't see them coming
Yeah.
either. But when I wrote down the characters, because that's the one thing I do always do is I do a really thorough character outline. Um, Ren just kind of came to me as someone that, like, when I first started thinking of her and what she looked like and who her family was and her interests, I pictured somebody that was really strong but very quiet.
Mhm.
And in her quiet kindness could be seen as weakness, but it's not.
Right.
He's actually a lot more fearless just by being a good person
Right.
rather than, but not taking, not rolling over,
Mhm.
Mhm.
but also not allowing the things of this dark world to affect her the same way that it had everyone else. And that
Right.
that personality rubbing off on everyone, like almost them, it naturally wanting to make them be better without her being preachy, like you shouldn't do this, or
Right.
why
Right.
are you being like that, or these families are terrible, like it wasn't. I never saw her as being that. She's just like, no, this is who I am and I'm going to get through this life the best way I can. You can either come with me or not.
Right.
And so she just kind of went from there.
Okay.
And I really, as far as her hair and everything, because I get asked that too about the white hair. When I saw her, I for some reason Miles was actually the most chatty,
Mhm.
and he just kept saying snowflake. He just kept saying it, and I was like, okay, fine. I have her from Canada. It's a little cliche, but whatever. We'll go with it. You're you're being very persistent in my head, so we'll go with it.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, why is he calling her that? Because it can be derogatory. And I was like,
Oh,
so,
true.
right? So I was like, what would inspire him as this retriever, love sick type personality? What would make him want to say that? And I was like, white hair, having like white or silvery hair.
Mhm.
And I thought, no, I want it to be natural. I want to be something that she's had to go through. And so that's how I ended up finding the Marie Antoinette syndrome that can be caused by stress. And I thought that's perfect because she's lived this
Right.
very stressful existence and already. And I just thought, it just kind of adds already from the first moment you meet her. It kind of represents her character before she's ever really even opened her mouth or before we see her interact with the boys or anything else.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I love her quiet resilience. I mean, obviously, like, no, she did go through a lot in those
Yeah.
first four books. And
Shit.
she did, and
Yes.
it's kind of like I was waiting at one point, like waiting and waiting, like when she was gonna have that breakdown where like I'm done, I'm out, like
Yeah,
like I'm
that's
out.
it. I'm out of
I
here.
mean, it, you know, like without saying too much, but like it did happen, and I was just like, man, like you held out a long time before you said peace out, man. Like because I don't think like other people would have been like book one and be like, I'm out. Like
Yeah,
bring me
right?
back to Canada. Like but like she was
Take me home. Yeah.
right, but she was, she's very resilient. And then, getting to know like who her family is and like all that's like, oh, kind of makes sense why she is who she is. Like
Well, and that was the other thing. The other beauty with Queen's Gambit is you get an insight to somebody that really, other than in little flashbacks, you never got to meet. And it just, who she is suddenly makes a lot more sense. Like why she is the way that she is. So, yeah, yeah. Like I said, I didn't sit down thinking I want to build this really strong female. I wish I could say that. That wasn't it. I usually let the characters just kind of tell me who they are. Are they needing to go through a really strong character arc to make them strong? Are they already that way? Are they just super feisty and kind of like a Vicky type personality? I let them kind of speak to me, and that's just who she kind of started talking like in my head, and that was it.
mm,
So
I love her. I also love her, like just even her hair. Like it's very different, but like I think it matches her personality. I don't know. It's just like I could, even though her saying like, no, wasn't my like hair, like actual hair color, but I was like, I could not picture her with the darker hair. I guess like you can't, I just can't picture her with the darker hair.
yeah,
Even though that's
yeah,
her actual
like when
hair.
she found the photo and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like I just like you dyed your hair, whatever. I'll say that. Like, okay, so this one is like I think like one of my favorite questions now that once we started asking this question, if the Kings of Wayward Academy were to become a movie, who would you want to play the roles of the main characters?
that's a very long laundry list, actually. But what's his name? I'm so terrible with names. It's like the worst question for me. Um, he was in a movie I just watched recently, and he would make the perfect Miles. Oh, what is his name?
What's the movie? Do you remember the movie?
Also a really good question.
I was gonna try and help
Oh,
out. Mm.
I am terrible with names. I can picture everyone's faces, but I can't think of their names. It was like a cutesy romance movie. But he's quite well known. Like he was modeling before he got into movies, and they worked at two different places. But he was a lawyer, and he takes on her case, like her family's will, her inheritance. Um,
Like,
and they end up together at the end. But I can't. Oh,
Usually I can piece it together, but you know what? I don't really watch that much TV anymore.
I can't. I can't think of it. You're gonna make me look it up once we're done. I know it because it's gonna bother me now. But yeah. I don't know. I don't know, and I don't know who could play Ren.
Let me think.
There's a lot of actresses that would do a really good Vicky, like that mean girl that can really do that. Yeah.
can I just say
Um.
I'm glad that Vicky wasn't like, yeah, she was prominent in book one, and then as you get through book two, three, and four, she like kind of slowly at least not as much, and I was like, I'm okay with that, like, because I was just like in book one, I was just like, can somebody just like off her or something, and then just kill her off. I mean, I
Let me tell you
know.
how in this book, not only is she in there a lot more, you're gonna start to get a whole lot more conflicted.
Oh, okay. I sort of had a feeling like after book four. Like I had to be like, oh, are we gonna like do like a redemption or something? Like,
She doesn't really redeem.
right, yeah,
She's not really what I would call the great redeeming character, but you will start to kind of understand her a little better.
yeah. I had a feeling that
Okay.
especially like reading book 5, like like I mean, I still had questions after that, but I have almost like thinking to myself like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about Vicky because I was like, I didn't like her from the get go. Like,
No,
it's just
no,
like,
she's not a likable
yeah.
character.
I
So,
mean, all the stuff that she did. Uh,
and what's even funnier is I am terrible at being mean girl. Like I am terrible. I had to like sit down. Those lines, everything that she does hurt so bad to try and write it. I'm just like, oh,
yeah, but I do agree. Like, I do feel bad, like especially when Ren like gives her a reality check when it came to Nash. It's like, dang, if I was that girl, I would be like, oh, right, like what she's saying is correct, and why am I doing this? It's like, really,
yeah.
like,
Why am I putting myself in this
right,
position?
like,
And I,
is it like
yeah,
not clicking to you kind of thing? Because like she like Ren is pretty blunt when it comes to that. Like when it comes to Vicky's jealousies, it's like I don't even like. I am not even like. He's not even in my radar. I don't know why you're like coming at me. you know. Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, like I don't know who's gonna be able to play Ren.
I don't know
I mean, like the guys, it's easy enough because they're all Irish,
who's
right?
the actress that played Khaleesi.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. She could pull it off.
She could probably do it.
Right, right.
I think she would do really well at it because she's got that. She's already got that really kind of like fighter demeanor, like you saw it in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So I think maybe she could do Ren. Again, names escape.
Um, Emilia Clarke. Emilia Clarke. That's her name.
Is that her name?
Hmm. Yeah. And she looks young enough, kind of like to pull off being a high.
Yeah, she's got that kind of cutesy look
Hmm.
to her features and stuff like that. Yeah.
And all the guys, correct me if I'm wrong, they're all Irish, right? Or is it just Miles that's Irish or
No, they all are, but he's the only one that actually
lived in Ireland?
was born
Yeah.
there and came over. The rest of them were already born in the
Mm.
States. So that's why none of them have the accent, and he does. And you always know when he's speaking because you just always know. And I can't write him now without hearing it in my head.
Yes, I can hear it and just like when I'm like reading and I'm just like mouthing it up and I was like, why am I doing this to myself? Like I'm not even Irish. Like why? But like I can just hear it. So it's
Yeah,
it's funny. But
yeah. If there's ever an audiobook, I'm gonna have somebody that has a really good Irish accent to be able to do him. Yeah,
yeah. I mean I love all of the guys. I mean, obviously, I'll go for Nash. Like, just that's always my go-tos are the assholes. I don't know why, but it's just assholes. But Miles is also like I love his character. Um,
he is the one that is. It doesn't matter what the scenario is. I will stand in front of that bullet for you.
mhm.
Well, that was my next question, though, and I'm putting you on the spot whether you like it or not.
Uh-oh.
Out of all the guys, who would be your favorite? Yep, I'm doing it. I feel like
So
you're going to say Miles.
no. Well, okay. Do you wait a minute though? Do you mean favorite to write or favorite is like if I had to choose just one?
If you
If
have
you
to
had to
choose.
choose just one.
Okay. Believe it or not, it'd be Theo.
Oh, okay, I can see
Really?
that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love Theo.
Because he's got the sass of, being the jerk when he wants to be. But he's actually, you see him interact with Ren, he's actually very kind and very intuitive. And then, of course, just the aspect of the motorcycle makes him super hot.
Right. Yeah. Like,
So yeah, it'd probably be Theo.
yeah, when Ren first described him, it's like he looks standoffish kind of thing, and then they start sparring because there's both um intelligent, and everybody in the table is just like, we might as well just leave them to it. Like, nobody wants to be
they're
like in the
they're
table
gonna be here
anymore.
all night.
Right,
Random facts,
right.
whatever,
And
one
they
upping
can't,
each other.
they would banter, they're like trying to outdo each other, but then that when he showed up in that racing scene, uh Ren's like, oh, this is a different Theo. It's like, dang, like,
Like, where's this Theo been? Yeah,
right? And I also love Theo.
yeah. When he takes her to the underground club, and he's like, well, what, shouldn't I have a code name? And then when she gets her nickname and stuff, yeah, there's a whole other side to him that is not just the sexy nerd type side to him. Like, he's got like a whole darker side, which I really like. I like that he's got that almost like a double personality
Mhm.
type
And no
uh
one like
character.
looks at him like he will be able to kill somebody kind of thing. But when he
Yeah,
steps up,
yeah.
it's like,
They're like,
oh,
he's not a bad boy.
right,
Yeah, he's
oh,
like, yeah,
there he is.
I'm the one with the plans.
Right,
I'm the one that does the things.
right.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I also love his relationship with Sorry if I'm spoiling it, but you guys had 4 books, 5 books ago to read this. But like Liam and Theo, it's when it. I know it was like an inkling kind of sprinkled in there, but then when we got to, I think Theo's and Liam, it's kind of like, oh, like when Ren caught them, I was like, oh, this is like, you should go and like go somewhere, like let them have this moment. But it
Yeah,
was, yeah,
it's like, yeah, yeah.
I
They're
like that. I like that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you wouldn't think of it, but because they already actually like they don't do PDAs, but everybody's like, oh yeah, they're together. Kind of, it's just like a common like knowledge that they're together.
yeah. But as far as my favorite to write would probably be Miles, and then a close second would be Nash, especially. And I don't know what it is about when they get texting, but him and Ren, when they text, the two of them, it's like it's so much fun. It just flows. They're hilarious. They're really fun to write together in those in those moments.
Yeah,
Love a
I
good
love
text.
their, I love those texts, like their text messages. It's as good as like when they're in front of each other, like they're just like how
Yeah.
they talk to each other, and people just look at them like, what is wrong with these two people? Like the way they talk to each other, but it's better like their texting is just funny. Like Ren is
Yeah.
kind of like, I should not be texting that. Like she has that like that
Like, what am I
remorse
doing?
at
I'm
the
just
end.
setting
Like, what?
myself up
Why?
here. Yeah.
Why did I do this? Like, and that's why she avoids him. And um, but I love that. Like, I love their, like, you can tell like Miles, like obviously both of them are attracted to each other. They're just in denial. Like the whole time
Yes.
they're in
Yeah.
denial.
Miles, like, you do know this is going to happen, right?
Right.
Like,
They're like, now we hate each other. Whatever. Like,
There's always one in the group that's like last to get involved, like last to be like conform to it.
oh,
See, if you would have just went along with it from the beginning, we all could have been having fun.
well, actually, two of them were like very not wanting to. Well, Nash is in denial. The other one was very like, no, like he really didn't want to, but
yeah. Yeah. Liam was very standoffish. He was actually he's originally he was the very hardest for me to write. He was the quietest right from the very beginning. And like I get it now, like the more that I had to work with him and developed his character, and he was coming more to the forefront of my mind. He is the guy that kind of stands behind Nash and just quietly observes and takes everything in. And because that's his personality, it was like trying to get him to talk to me, which sounds so crazy, was very difficult. Like it was very difficult to get him to finally open up. So I'm like, dude, this is your book.
Right.
You need to speak.
Right. Yeah, he was very like standoffish, but like once he was like in it, he's like, okay, I'm in it. Like
Yeah.
it was like
Like there's no waffling with him. Like
right,
he's just like, all right, I'm here now. Okay, fine.
right. Like
Yeah.
it's happening. It's happening. It took him a little bit to like. I was like, come on, just like we both know it's gonna happen. Like let's get into it. Um. Okay, this next question, I'm not gonna like say the name of the characters. I guess like it's very much about Queen's Gambit. So some of the characters already in there we met from previous books. There are some that I kind of like found out or like got told. Would we see them in the next three books? The ones that we didn't get to kind of, I guess, see as much.
Who are we talking about?
Okay, so like in
Okay,
the end,
I'm like, okay.
well, I didn't know if
This
I'm
is like a
allowed,
bad
if I
guessing
should
game.
like.
Who?
Okay, well, so okay, so we've seen Lawrence, obviously. Um, Dean, the Dean, Paul, then Marcus,
Mhm.
Dimitri. We've seen Lev. I'm not gonna without like, and then we've also seen Frida, Eddie, Sebastian, and Christoph. I missed somebody, like the other two, the two bodyguards that was with her.
Oh, and also Emmett at the very end, at the soccer. So, and I don't know if people picked up on that, but Emmett is Liam's dad.
Oh, oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Emmett is Liam's dad. So that because that whole generation was
Oh.
there together, right? Because Ella was there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, yeah, there. Well, I was like, am I allowed to like do it? But like, I don't like those two, the two bodyguards. I was like, okay, they were mentioned here in Queen's Gambit, but we never really saw them. So I'm like curious, are they gonna pop up or
You,
maybe?
I will tell you that you will see them again.
Okay. Okay. Mhm. Good to
I
know.
cannot tell you how, but you will. Everybody that was in Queen's Gambit, unless they passed away, you will see again, or they'll be mentioned again. Um, the only one that you probably I don't know whether or not you'll see much more interaction with Dimitri. Maybe a little bit, but really, who he is in her life has already been, explored and
Right.
stuff like that. It'll be more of the bonding with the rest of the family. Like we'll like in this particular book, you will see Nathaniel again, you'll see Kaylani again,
Okay.
like that kind of thing. So
So we'll see Sebastian again, I guess.
oh yeah,
Okay.
because he's with Ivy, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
I have to say that like when they were oh no, never mind. That's a spoiler. I feel like that's a spoiler. I can't say it because I was like there was that one scene like between those that
I'm not as far as you.
sorry that's why I was like trying not to say names. Okay, so there's these two characters when they were younger. It was a sweet moment, and I was like, oh, I was like because they, you know, they're there like, but then
They're there.
you no, but like their interaction was sweet and cute like without like again I can't tell you but when you see them as present time who they are it's like I don't know, no recognition or anything like that like you know, so I'm very curious about that because I was like oh it's not like they hated each other or anything like that.
well, I'll give you a one spoiler, one piece of interesting information. So obviously, for the rest of the series, you will continue to see the Dean Henry. Um, but there's actually going to be a spin-off series from Wayward
Mm-hmm.
that he
Oh,
will be starring in.
Oh, okay, he's an interesting
okay.
character. I He's more secretive obviously like very like tight lip in present time, but like during the, their younger years, he's very more like, I guess his character was more in it,
Yeah. Well, you see like this younger, you see the younger version, and then you see the adult he became, right? Like it makes, you kind of see that swap of, from being a teenager and unsure, and where certain friendships and alliances and everything develop, and then you see them as adults.
Right.
Um, but yeah, so I am going to be doing a curator series.
Okay. Ooh, I like that because they're interesting. That side is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it also makes sense, like how like what he says sometimes, like as a reader, it's like, what are you talking about? Like you're the same way as the character. Like I don't know what you're talking about. Like can you
Yeah.
just like
I don't know what you're trying to
just
tell me.
tell me. But then you kind of you read Queen's Gambit. I'm just like, okay, like kind of makes sense where he's coming from. But yeah, I gotta say, it's like I don't really like Kristoff's character when he popped up in books one, like book four, I guess, if I remember correctly. But like there's that moment in um his moment between him and Ren that I was
In
just
book
like,
5.
yeah, in book five, I was just like, oh, so come on, like why we gotta do that? Why we gotta do that? Why you gotta give
Why do
me
we have to have a moment?
moment, right?
Why
Like
do
just
that
that
to us?
moment. There was a moment, and I'm just like, ugh. But you gotta love Ren, like no matter how old she is, like she just has that character of like you just love her. Mhm.
That was a cute moment.
Yeah,
That was a very cute
I
moment.
know, but now it's kind of like, why did you do that? Why would you give me that moment? Like, I'm okay with hating him.
I just love to torture all of you. That's all.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of like, oh, he's definitely a bad guy, and then you read that, you get that moment, and I'm just like, now, like, now you have to make him human. Like you have to make him like,
Like, thanks a lot.
right, 'cause I'm prepared to hate him. um but yeah.
Well, we're going to switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
And this might be information everybody would like to know, but how many books do you typically try and release a year?
Um. Well, if anyone has a calculator, I started releasing September 3rd, 2021, and Avenging Azalea, which comes out at the end of this month, is book 30,
Oh,
Oh,
and
okay.
there is two more books. No, yes, two more books left to come this year. Possibly three,
maybe.
but maybe. And the reason why I say that is because the third one is my continuing on in my pucking novellas, the hockey,
Oh,
and they're just like fun, like Christmas ones that I do. But they all kind of like, you meet all the characters in the first one, and I've just been kind of like giving everybody a story, just to, as
Oh,
people have liked it, people have enjoyed them, and
yeah.
um, so if I have time, I'll do it. But if not, then it'll get put off, because the first book that will be coming out in 2026 is Vexatious. So I want to make sure that I'm giving it the room to breathe to finish it. So, but the next two that are coming out this year is September is Volatile. And then Dark Reunion, which is the completion book for my Righteous series.
okay.
That wraps up. Then it's a complete series. It's People have been waiting for it for a year, so I wanted to make sure I got it done.
So will Wayward then kind of finish next year, hopefully?
Yeah, so it will be done next year. So actually, Vex is actually the last book of the main group,
Okay.
and then so the this is how you'll know, for anybody that's new to the series. This is how you'll know what books are what. All of the books are labeled as a descriptive word, and then a piece, except for Queen's Gambit,
Right.
which is an actual move in chess, and the last book, which is Fool's Mate, which is also a move in chess.
Okay.
Okay, so, and Queen's Gambit is named what it is because it's like an opening move, which that's what started it all, right? Like when you get there, when you read book 4 and then you read book 5, and you're like, this is what started everything rolling. And now we're going to see where this is going to go from this moment, right? Of this collision of everything that's come together, of timelines. When you get to the end, so Vex will be the main group, but I've decided to give, and I'm not going to spoil which one, but I decided to give technically 2 of the main characters, side characters, their own book. So you'll still see the main group, but Fool's Mate is actually a side character, individual story. And it won't be Why Choose, but it's going to be MFM.
Okay.
So there you go. Now you can work. Now you can wonder. Get your.
I know.
I feel like
Marjorie will figure it
and
out.
all the other characters
mm-hmm.
that you've fallen in love with in Wayward, they're either going to end up in Lost Souls as part of the Motorcycle Club series, or in Made Men as part of the Mafia series.
Yes, because they're like I mean, book 4 kind of like put them all together, like the with the scenes and all that stuff, like for both the motorcycle and then the Made Men, yeah. Which is I was like, oh, they're gonna have their own stories. I'm gonna read that as well. Is it kind of like the Fool's Mate? Well, I guess like Fool's Mate's kind of almost like wrapping it up, I guess. Ish.
No, everything as far as the main group is concerned it'll be wrapped up in Vex. This is so you'll see them because they're friends, right? So that will give you your pieces of what's happening after the main, all the main stuff is wrapped up. But the story's not going to be about Ren and the guys. You'll just, whether it be a phone conversation or a text message or seeing each other in person for a visit,
Okay.
this will literally be a side character's story. Yeah.
All right, so that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I'm excited to like see the ending because I'm just like like let me tell you, it's like reading them and then like having like the ideas for like the design. I'm just like, okay, like I know I'm gonna assume what we're gonna design like the last 3, um, but like just from the titles, and I was like, okay, like I know which ones are gonna happen, like or what design will go to for books. Thank you for like telling me the other one. I have a question. Like I was like looking through this before I forget. Does Blake have a pet name, like a name that he calls Ren?
He doesn't really. He called her like he said that she reminded him of the bird, the kite, the little snowbird. They're right there, and he doesn't really call it to her, but he's like, yeah, like you remind me of, because I originally asked her, were you named after Ren the bird? And she's like, not that I know of. And he's like, good, because you actually remind me more of a kite. And
Yeah,
she's like, a what?
yeah, yeah. Because I was
Right?
like,
But it's like a little snowbird.
I kept looking books once because I was like, okay, well, Snowflake, Princess, Shiver, Little Rabbit. And I was like, what did Blake call her? And I kept like looking and looking, like trying to find. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna ask her. I'm just gonna ask her. So it's like I cannot find it.
He's not really big on just, he kind of mentions it like, it's like a cute pet name, but he's not really a nickname calling type character like Nash is with Princess, or when Liam's getting all dommy and he'll use the pet name or whatever. But yeah. And Miles is just always, she's my snowflake. So
Snowflake. It's like you can hear him coming. Snowflake, like it's him. That's Miles. It's like as soon as you hear him. Yeah.
still one of my favorite scenes is when he punches her in the face.
Oh, yeah.
And I know that sounds like it should be a bad
Like
scene, but it's hysterical.
Yeah, because he wasn't even doing it. Or like when he he poured coffee on her. I was just like, oh my god, early in the morning, and he was just like thinking to himself, like, I'm floundering, like I'm like making a mess of things because Ren is just like, get away from me, like pretty much at this point, like just get away from me.
Yep. Yep. Oh yeah. He's like the character that if there's something wrong, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen to him.
Yeah, because I mean, like she got like a black eye, and then her
Yeah, she's soaked.
it's just
She's
like
soaked in
soaked,
coffee.
and she's like, I don't have extra clothes. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know why that scene still just cracks me up because he's trying so hard where he's never had to try hard before, and then he's just a complete blunder. He's just everything just is going wrong.
Right. First impression, not really good. um, um. So okay, I don't know if we're gonna do your. I mean, you just said 30 books. If you can think of, on top of your head, out of all of them, which one was your most difficult to write?
Hmm. Um. I think probably the Consume trilogy.
Mhm.
Derek was a really complicated character for a lot of reasons, and although it's designed and cut up into 3 books, really it's just one read split into 3.
Okay.
So book 1 is only his POV. And writing just a single POV, like I'm used to writing multiple POVs, getting, the other people's insight into a situation. But with that particular series, you're very much in his head a lot of the time. You start off with him in a mental hospital. That's where the book starts, and he escapes. And he has a very, very tragic and dark past that has made him the way that he is. And it's probably the darkest right that I have. Unhinged Cane is different because you're kind of like that Criminal Minds vibe, right?
Right.
Derek he wasn't born that way. He was very badly abused, and he just has an extremely tragic past, and it was a very tough write. Some of the scenes were really hard to do. And by the time you get to book 3, you are just, your heart bleeds for him. And where this, I mean, I did, believe it or not, I did manage to do an HEA at the end of book 3, but you really wonder getting there. And when you're going through book 1 and you see some of the things that he's been through, and it's just it was gut wrenching. It was very gut wrenching, I think is probably the best way to put it. So
Um, now, other than some of the stuff that you already told us that's coming out in the end of the year, are there any other projects that you have coming out that you can discuss? I know you said the paranormal, right? Or the fantasy, the
yeah,
vampire.
so next year, this is what's for sure on the docket. I have the 2 for Wayward,
Hmm.
so Vexatious and Fool's Mate. And then I have the next book actually coming out, My Lost Souls, which is Showbiz and Fealty. So that will be coming out. The next one in my Mafia series has already been announced. So that is Forbidden Forget Me Not. So that will be that one. So that's part of the Mikhailov family. The next one, so the book that I currently have out that's PNR, which is Anywhere. I had put it on the back burner for a little while, but the next book in it will be coming out. So Any Place is coming. And I feel like there's another one. I have a Halloween novella that's gonna be a dark, spicy Halloween novella. So I don't know. I don't always do those. I don't tend to always do the holiday ones, but I just I had this really wonky idea, and I was like, this would make a great Halloween book. So I've decided to throw that in for next year, and I think that's it. Is that 5 or 6? Forbidden, Showbiz, Anywhere. Those 2. That's 5. I feel like there's something else that I'm missing, but yeah, definitely that.
Busy year, busy upcoming 2026.
Oh, that's it. I have a standalone that's coming. That is, I haven't announced the name, nothing. Like all the others have announced the names and stuff. This one, this is sort of a pet heart project for me, because I'm putting a lot more of my personal struggle in this book than I have with anything else. Like, you always have a little bit of yourself in every book, right?
Yeah.
You can't get away from that, but this book, it's obviously not about me, but I'm putting a lot of the things that I have personally struggled with in the book. So I haven't announced it yet, but that's the other one. It's going to be a standalone.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
So yeah, I'm really excited about it. But
busy.
I'll be sure to let you know as soon as I announce it. I promise.
Yeah.
Okay, like I think we can do the reader's question. I feel like you answered them ish, or like I don't know if you can answer them really. They're like spoilers. One was asking is like, is Vicky technically Rand's sister? And I was like,
That's a wait and see question.
right.
Oh.
And
I do promise though that you will find out the answer almost immediately as soon as the book starts.
okay.
Not within like the first page. Don't quote me. I did not say the first page.
But like
Not the first chapter,
but
but
at
within
least
the first. Yes,
okay.
you will get the answers that you are seeking.
All right.
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about that. Like, whichever is the answer is kind of like I don't know how I feel about her anyway because I didn't really like her. So I'm just like, do we really need an answer to that? But I'm also curious, kind of. Will the series have an audiobook in the future?
I'm hoping so, but I would really like to do it full cast, and that just ends up being really expensive, right? So that's the only thing holding it back. I just feel that I know. Don't get me wrong. I know that there are a lot of talented narrators that can change their voice, but I just really feel that I'd need a minimum of 4 guys and at least 2 girls to be able to do this wide variety, from side characters to parents, the main group. There's just so many people, and to make sure that especially the main guys are very distinctive. And that just gets super pricey. So I'm looking at that. I'd like to do it, but I just kind of have to wait and see. Save my pennies.
Aw, yeah.
Come on, an awesome Miles. We have to
Right?
come again.
I definitely need that,
Like
right?
we
Like,
need
I
an
mean, he needs his
awesome
own.
Miles, right?
Yeah.
We can't have like somebody who's just like having to try it on, like
No, it can't be forced. It's got to be somebody that either already has the accent and puts on an American accent, which there are Irish narrators.
Right.
So I could do it. I could go that way, or somebody just puts on such a good one that you don't notice that they're not. And I've seen both, but either way, I need somebody that is really good at doing that inflection for him, that it sounds really authentic. I don't want it to come across cheesy.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I should ask this next
I know,
one.
right? Like it was like such a
You,
you should ask it.
I hope this is a joke. I hope this is a joke and you know who this is.
Uh-oh.
Smutty Muddy?
Oh, yes, I know who that
Okay,
is.
well, they said, why do you write like you're running out of time? Ha ha ha.
I know. I saw that question. I was like, do I even? But I don't want to be like. I'll put them
So
in.
just so that you have context, that's
Yes.
my editor.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's a good
So
one.
yes,
All right.
I know who that is, and I keep her hopping all the time.
Yeah.
She's on vacation right now, and she's taking her laptop with her, so that she's on the beach working while she's on the beach. Because I write so quickly. Well, back to back. I guess the biggest thing. A lot of people write a book and then they'll take a break. But for me, I was actually just explaining this to another author friend of mine because she's like, "There's something wrong with you. Like you're not even human." And I'm like, "Okay, it's actually a bit of an unfair advantage." So I'll explain this for everyone so you understand. Some forms of ADHD, you spiral, right, and you squirrel, and you can't keep focused.
Mhm.
The form that I have, and I can't remember the exact acronym for it now, is I feel the most comforted when I hyper focus.
Mm.
So when I was younger, I was very all over the place because I didn't know how to do that, and I've never had any sort of medication for it. So I taught myself these. They're like almost like hyper focusing tricks, basically, so that I could make it through school. Because I could maybe hyper focus and be really into like science class for 30 minutes where I was like the best student on the planet, and then the other 30 minutes I couldn't focus at all.
Oh.
Right? So it was kind of like I was in and out of it. Riding actually really helped it because I rode dressage, and when I first started to ride, I was only doing maybe like, an hour a day. But when I started to compete and I was riding multiple horses, training multiple times a day, I was having to do that really extreme hyper focus for, anywhere between 5 to 8 hours a day, depending on how many horses I was on. So it kind of retrained my brain that writing is my dopamine hit that relaxes me. So everyone else, when you might chill out and read a book or watch a movie or whatever to relax, if I haven't written, I get shaky, right? Because it's like my fix. Like that's what I need to help keep my brain calm. So it's almost like an unfair advantage because I took it from writing and I brought it over to writing. So now, like when I get up in the morning, I grab my coffee, and the very first thing that I do is I sit down and I spend about 2 hours writing nonstop before I even eat anything. So I write very, very quickly because I'm always so focused on needing to do that.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's got its pros and cons. I'm supposed to be relaxing and I can't relax, but there's
That's so funny.
but it's like this unfair advantage. I've basically spent my entire life teaching myself to hyper focus for quantities of time,
Mm.
and just be like, that's now my relaxation tool. Like I can't watch him if I haven't wrote that day. This is how bad it is. If I'm invited out for the day, I panic. Like it's actually debilitating in another way because if I have to go somewhere, I have to take my notepad and pen because it's kind of like a God forbid I get somewhere and I have an idea and now I can't get it down.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so it's almost like in its own way, it's its own issue. But for me as an author trying to get books out, it's actually beneficial because I can just sit down and spend 12 hours in front of the computer without ever leaving other than to go to the washroom
Mhm.
and do that 7 days a week and it doesn't bother me.
That's good for you. Like
So yeah,
you have a deadline, like, oh, I have a deadline, I can meet
yeah,
it. Like other people are
yeah,
just like deadlines is around the corner, and I still haven't
yeah.
finished. Like
Well, and you add on top of that my personality is that I'm always early or I'm considered late. Right? Like if I have to go somewhere, I will arrive an hour and a half early normally, and I
wow.
will sit there because it bothers me to be late.
Hmm.
Oh, I couldn't. I'm early too, but not that early.
I'm
I
early.
know. I'm they tell me, even if I'm like flying, do not show up here. We cannot take your bag any earlier than 3 hours before. And I will still have my husband drop me off an hour earlier just so that I'm there and I'm not stuck in traffic. Because if Lord forbid I was stuck in traffic and now I can't make that 3 hour deadline, I would rather sit against the glass and wait for that 3 hour mark. That's how obsessive it can get. So yeah, like it's so deadlines, like if I put up a pre-order, like I am, you better believe that as it's coming in, like there is no, like I don't move away when people go, I'm in the cave. I'm like, am I always in the cave? Is there is there anything outside of the cave?
It's so funny, right? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so yeah, there you go.
But
Now
as
you
long as
know my
you still
secret. Now
love
you
it,
know how I do it.
yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you still enjoy it and love it, then that's okay then.
I do. I do. Yeah. There are certain scenes I don't enjoy writing. Believe it or not, I hate spice scenes. Hate them.
Really?
Really, with a passion. With a passion. I just but here's the reason. When I write them, I try very hard to make the experience with those characters in that scene different than what I've done in the past. That's a lot of brain power.
Right.
What they're saying, what they're doing, where are they, body positions, the whole ball of wax. So, for example, with Wayward, suddenly I'm now having to remember 4 books, technically 5 books, but let's go 4 books with the main characters. Constantly, okay, this one was in the bedroom, they were in this position, what kind of things was he saying, okay, what things did he open up with, what did she say, and then moving on to the next one, and I'm going through them all, and I remember all that. I don't write that down to reference. That's all in my head. So then when I get to a new scene, it's all playing at once. And I'm like, nope, can't use that. Nope, I've already used that. Nope, I need to do that. Nope, I could put his hand here. Well, this is what he'd always say. It's a gymnastics of my head that hurts. That's the only reason why. It's a weird process to do a spice scene. It's not because I don't like the spice. It's just because it's a lot harder to think it through.
Would we get a group scene? A group spicy scene? I'm just curious. Like,
You will get a quasi group spicy.
okay. Okay.
I can promise that. This book, you'll get a quasi one.
Okay.
Okay. I
I
can
mean,
promise
so
that.
so far it's been kind of, which I like, kind of like, her own time with them, like, or there would be like a mix of like pairings and all that stuff. But I like where she's been only with them, like their alone time kind of thing, while everybody's in a relationship with her, but have their own time, special time kind of thing. So I've, I've
Yeah, I think that's one of the toughest things to write into a why choose is giving everybody equal and ample time, not only as a group, but that everybody's important individually, and their individual time for each other is just as important as the next coupling together, right? And making that clear that in the relationship, it doesn't mean that when they're focusing on just the two of them, that nobody else counts. It's just that in that moment, that's their special time together, that the outside, whether it be the outside people or the outside world in general, does not affect that moment. Right. That's probably, yeah, I think that's probably the toughest thing to write in without the book being 200,000 words. Because I do not write, this is the other thing I always get in trouble for. I do not write a short spice scene.
yeah, they're not. They're not.
No, they are not short. I
No.
think the shortest one I've ever written is like 9 pages. The longest one I've ever written is actually part of my Consume trilogy, book 2. It's 23 pages long.
What are they doing?
What's happening
What is
for
happening?
23 pages?
I'm like,
Oh, okay. So just to give you context, because I know you're like, wow.
22 pages. I'm be like, what is happening in here? Like,
Okay. So context, I was telling you the story there. Book 2 of the trilogy focuses a lot more, not so much on Derek, but on his brother. because there's a real interesting sort of twist that goes on between the two brothers. Okay. And so his brother Asher is a Dom. And he's a true Dom.
Mm.
And he likes to take his time. That's a lot to write in.
I'm gonna have to read this. I think I'm reading that next. Because now I
If
need
you
to
if you're
know.
wanting something gut wrenching, something really dark, something that just pulls on all your emotion, you're just like, wow, that hurt. That is the Consume trilogy. But it's a beautiful story. It really is. And it's not my most, yeah, and it's not my most popular one. When I first started releasing that trilogy, nobody even knew who I was. So now I'm trying to market it, but I took it wide to see if that worked better because it's so much darker. I thought that maybe being Kindle Unlimited was hurting it. So it's in Kobo, and then it's like wide on like Apple and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, it's not in KU. But I can't now turn it back on. I'd have to take it down from all those sites because I thought, well, KU just doesn't seem like the right market for this. It's almost like a suspense thriller romance. Like I don't even know how to describe it because of the way that it's designed. So
I'll
yeah,
find it.
I love it. Derek. I love Derek.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yes,
Hmm.
why do I? If that's how we got to this, was Smutty Muddy. Yes, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really long answer.
Right.
She just wants to know why I keep her so busy. So she wants to know.
No. Is she the editor that like claims everyone is hers?
Yeah, at the
Yeah,
end,
yeah.
yes. At
Okay.
the author
I was like,
notes,
well,
yes.
at this point, well, actually, technically, Nash is free, so I'll take Nash. Nobody wants Nash. I'll take Nash. I'll just take Nash.
I stay out of the claiming. That's why I always put I do not approve this message. Because she leaves that off. I have to go back in. I have to add that in every time when I format. I'm like, no, I do not approve this message. You guys are all crazy. I'm not doing this. I'll let you put the note because it's kind of cute and everyone's gotten used to them and they think it's funny, but I'm staying right out of this claiming thing.
It's kind of like almost like Miles claiming Ren. Like I'm okay with everybody, but she's mine. I'm the one that's marrying her. And I was just like thinking to myself, I was like, I bet you Nash is gonna marry her and you're just gonna get pissed. Like
Very annoyed. Very,
like
very, very annoyed. Yes.
because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
I'd be Miles.
yeah. But
Hmm.
Miles is always the one that joins everybody else's date. Like you guys didn't tell me, and they're like, "No, we didn't tell you because you're not supposed to be here." But for some reason, you find us on our date.
Yes.
Like just
Yeah, that is so
eh,
Miles. Yes, it is. Yeah. It's like he
Aw.
hunts her down.
like he had. I feel like he has a tracker for her because he always know where she's at. Like
Yeah. He's the type that would be like, your entire schedule is memorized. I know who you hang out with at what time and where. And yeah, he's like the sweet stalker. You're just like, you're a little crazy.
mhm.
Yeah.
But the sweetest. He yeah. I didn't think he was gonna be the sweetest out of all of them.
I know when you meet him in the very beginning, you're
Yeah.
like, uh-oh.
You would think it's Blake. I mean, like Blake is sweet, but like compared to Miles, it's like no, Miles is like really the golden retriever out of all of them.
He really is. He really, really is.
Sorry, Colleen, we've been like spoiling everything.
I know. Forget
I'm
it.
so
Everyone needs
sorry.
to read it now.
You gotta read
So
it. I mean, you have
Well,
you know.
last question before you ruin everything for me. Um, what, if any, book signings do you have left for this year or are going to be attending next year?
This year I am at Ignited in September, in Toronto. And then next year I have 3, but they're all in Canada. So I have One in Kitchener. So Pages and Pleasures, Royal City, and Love and Romance in Toronto. So
Okay.
those are the three. Yeah,
I feel like there's more Canadian book tours, book signings popping up.
they seem to be.
Hmm?
Yeah, yeah, because I'll be honest, I hadn't really heard of any or saw any until like this year, and then all of a sudden there's just been like like a flourish of them. Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like we're so saturated here in the US. Almost every month, I feel like there's one every month.
there's tons, and I can't keep up with the drama.
No.
Every time I turn around, I'm like, there's another book signing that's in trouble for something, and I'm like,
I
what
know.
is
So you're
happening?
safe.
You're
You're
safe over
safe
there.
then.
Like at this point, nobody just needs to like do any book signings in the US because
Yeah,
everybody's like having issues. Like,
it's like every time I open Facebook, and I'm like, I'm not on it that often, but every time I open, I'm like, oh, it's okay, another one's in
Stay
trouble
the
for
hell off
something.
threads.
don't go on
Don't go on
threads.
threads.
I
Oh,
have to keep up a little bit because we do like when we do our book chats when it's just the two of us, like, well, we have to have a topic, hot topic, so I have to keep up with that.
yeah. Yeah, no, you do get all the tea on threads. I will say that. I tend to, like, myself, I haven't had any negative interactions with anyone, but I post really just more promotion stuff. Like, I don't tend to post a lot of personal stuff. I don't tend to do that anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you open it up and there's always some form of tea going on that on threads. Yeah, if you want gossip, that's where to go,
It's like
for sure.
it's the Twitter for book community.
Yeah,
I
Like,
it really
guess. Right.
like
it really kind of is.
when threads first pop up, like, what are we doing in here? Like, nobody knew how to use it, and now it's just like, what's the tea for today?
It's a dumping
Right
ground.
now, it's just
That's what
like
it is.
everybody's there.
There's I can't, honestly, I can't even keep up. I will open something for like a minute and I'm like, okay, okay, yep, that's too much, and I'm out. Like, I don't tend to stick around or read a whole lot. So people come to me like, did you hear such and such? And I'm like, no, I'm
I
always
get
the
my
last to know.
information from Marjorie. I
Yeah.
know that if it's big enough, she'll be telling me. So
See, then yeah, I'll need you to start telling me or something. I literally rely on everyone else to give to let me in on the things I should and shouldn't know about.
Right. Well, I tell her, I was like, okay, look, for a business standpoint, I need to know some of these things so that I can avoid that stuff. Like,
Honestly, I agree. Like, I should know, but I'm just like, I can't. I just
just have your PA do it for you.
that's she'd be so thrilled with that.
I know. She'll be like coming at me like, why would you suggest that?
Why did you say that?
Well, she said she needed to know some of these things. And I was like, just kind of like, for
Yeah.
me, I don't really like drama and all that stuff. That's why I usually avoid TikTok because it used to be on TikTok. But then I'm like, well, now I have like a store, a business, and I need to have like, as much as I don't want to include myself in that, I need to know some things because then I'm, like I
You do.
yeah.
Because you need to know if there's an issue with a particular author that
Right.
you're hoping to have in the store or something like that. And
Mhm.
I mean, there's always business reasons.
Yeah.
There's just, I can't seem to keep up with it. There's always something,
It's always
and
new
I'm just like,
every half a day. I feel like before at least it was a week. Now it's like almost hourly, and I'm like, "Ooh, okay, forget it." I just like
but yeah, no. Next year, I'm just doing the 3K ones. I did a lot of traveling last year, and I just got back from Rare London, and part of my take a step back from stressful stuff is doing a lot of traveling. So I'm hoping to do some again in the future, but right now I'm just like, I'll be honest, I do not want to deal with anything to do with border stuff. I'm like, I'm supposed to stay unstressed. I already naturally stressed. This is not going to be helpful. this is this is not going to be good for anybody. So yeah.
like, so I still have family in the Philippines, and like my brother, and he's like, are you coming to your niece's first birthday slash baptism? I'm like, you know, you're a godmother and you're the aunt, and I'm like, no. I'm like, no. Like, I'm not dealing with that stuff coming back. I know I won't have issues leaving, but like coming back, I don't want to deal with that one.
Well, even if there's no issues, it's just the whole, like, I am always pulled off to the side because, oh my God, okay. So 2023, when I was going to a book signing in Boston, I had pre-orders with me, and I didn't even have that many. I only had like 20 pre-orders or something. But I didn't print off the paperwork and have it attached to each one of the orders. This is key. So I'm driving. I get stopped at the thing. He says, what do you have in the back? I said, it's books. He says, are you selling them? I said, no, they're pre-orders. He says, where's your paperwork? And I go, in my phone? Wrong thing to say. Okay. Because then he goes, over there. And I'm like, okay. So I had to go in, and they went through the whole spiel with me about how, that's not done properly and yada, yada, yada. And I thought that was going to be the end of it. But they flagged me.
Oh,
For, so yeah. So they put a flag on for trying to come into the country with um, like basically product to sell.
Even though
they're already
they're
sold.
already sold.
Yeah. Like kept saying to him, like, well, it's in my phone. I can show you each one. But he just kept saying, that's not good enough. How do I know that that is for that? And I'm like, and I honestly was sitting there staring at it. I'm like, well, if I print it off, it'd still be the same paperwork. So I don't know how to answer this question, because I feel like if I say that, I'm going to get myself in more hot water than what I already am. So I'm like, well, I don't know. This is what this is. I don't know. I don't know how better to explain that. But yeah, so that wasn't good. So now whenever I come, I'm automatically pulled aside and interrogated.
You know what? I did see you on Border Patrol. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
I'm just kidding you.
trust me. They tear apart my suitcase. Like every single time. Yeah, so they pull me aside, they tear apart my suitcase. They do all the things.
Mhm.
And I find that highly stressful as it
Yeah.
is. And I'm like, with everything that's heightened right now, I'm like,
Yeah.
Jesus, if I had to sit there for 4 or 6 hours, I would be with no phone. I'd be in full on panic mode because I can't talk to my husband, who keeps me calm, right? Like, and then I'd be in a flare, and if I'm in a flare, then I can end up hospitalized. And are they going to let me have my meds? And then this is running through my head. Like, it's just, I just thought this is a really bad scenario to put myself in. Like, I just need to step away from doing that right now. And it was a tough decision because honestly, it's book signings are the only time I get to socialize, or like interviews like this.
Yeah.
The rest of the time I spend it writing, and it's very quiet. It's very lonely, really. And that's the only time I get to either meet people or get to see people. And,
Mm.
I really look forward to them,
Mm.
whether it be my readers or fellow authors. And so
Well, I'm glad you
hopefully,
guys are getting more there in Canada, you know, like more signed
yeah.
at least.
Yeah, I was, like I said, I was really shocked that, there were suddenly some that were within an hour's driving distance. I was like, whoa, how can I turn that down? Like, I don't have to pay for hotel. I can literally drive in, drive out. I mean, that's something that I would never even have been, you know, thought that I could do, a year ago. So
That's
sure.
like a lot more. Like, I feel like you'll make more out of those signings because if they're closer to you, you know, like because less expense compared to like if you're flying everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. And I am in the process of getting the flag removed, but it takes time and everything is slow. Yeah, it's a really slow process. It's an expensive process. It's cost me about 10,000.
Oh,
Oh my
stop.
god.
Holy crap.
So we need to sell more books for you.
Warning. Any author that has never traveled to the States and you are going to and you have pre-orders, make sure you have your stuff printed off. The invoice, the payment, it's stapled to it, tied to it. I don't care what you do. because that was my mistake. I didn't have the physical paperwork for each one to show that that's what they were for and that's what they were upset about.
Oh my
So they
god.
have to be
That's
like,
narrator money right there.
right?
Hmm. I had to, so that day I had to turn around and I had to drop everything off. But luckily, my dad's work is near the border, and I was able to just leave everything there to be able to continue on, so at least I could still go.
Mhm.
But that was, yeah. And then again, they hauled me off again because, of course, it was like 2 hours later, and I'm trying to come back through the border again.
Oh, gee.
So I had to go through the whole thing again, and then strip the car again, and make sure I didn't have any books with me, and
Jeez.
it was a whole thing. So yeah, ever since then, it's been a hassle. So I'm just like, no, I'm going to wait until the flag is removed, that I prove I am not the evil human they have me flagged.
Jeez. Of all the people that they could flag an author.
I was like, dude, I've literally got like 50 books and they're all accounted for. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, but whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It was my mistake. I should have known. Like, that's a live and learn, right? There's a live and learn moment. So now I'm paying for it to try and get it taken care of so I don't have any more hassles.
Yeah.
And then I can travel without being freaked out again.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
No.
Well, people need to buy your books so you can recoup that money.
That would be great. That would be
Recoup the
that would be
money.
awesome.
No, so
I am actually going to do I can't, obviously, this is hard to promote when I can't say what it is, but I'm going to try. I'm going to be doing a book box that is for my standalone.
Oh.
And I will be looking for beautiful humans interested in getting a book box and reading the book and letting the world know what you thought.
sign us
So
up. No, I'm just
if you're interested, let me know. And I know you're like, but what is it? I'm like, I can't tell you.
it's a surprise.
Just go with it.
Right.
Just go with
We like surprises.
it. I can promise it's spicy. I can
Okay.
promise it has dark themes.
Sold.
There
That's
you
all
go.
you need to know.
We
right?
just need to know if it's smutty or not.
That's it.
Right.
Right.
You will get the spice.
Okay.
And I have plenty of space.
She has a lot of space. I need to build like
You
redo.
need space.
I need space because I have a bunch in on my floor, and I was like, ooh.
I have that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We're together. I have piles on the floor.
Well, yeah, and then like your series is like 5 books already coming out. Thank God, like the next
And they're
3 are
not little.
right.
It's not like they're little books
Right.
that are nice, no.
Right. So that's why I was like saying, thank God the next 3 books are not out yet. We can wait next year and then just like surprise people like, hey, we're back. Guess what? Like we're finishing it.
Now, for anyone listening, you just announced the book box. Is that something that they'll be able to sign up for, like
Mhm.
on your Instagram page or
Yeah,
TikTok?
so usually with anything like that, I always put it in my link tree because I just do everything by like a Google form.
Mhm.
So I put it in my link tree so that people can easily access it and fill it out. More than likely, it will probably go up around Christmas because I need to know how many I'm going to have to do. And yeah, but I really want to, and like it'll just be mostly the book. There'll be a few goodies in it, but it'll be mostly just the book because I want to do the book up nice. And yeah, but I'm kind of hoping to really kind of promote it. It's like I said, it's not that I don't love all my books, I do, but there's just so much more that I've added to this of myself that I'm really kind of hoping to do something a little different with the launch for it. So
I'll look for, is the sign up already up or not yet?
no, it'll be around Christmas.
Okay. We can always
Yeah.
put it in there.
I'll poke you.
Okay.
I'll poke you. The link is open.
Link is open. Like, Let's do this. It's
And
smutty,
then maybe we can have you back on.
right?
Pardon?
We can have you back on to
Yes.
chat about it.
Mm.
That'll be good.
Yes.
So.
I will be announcing the name probably. It'll be after Volatile comes out.
Okay.
I don't know what the date will be, but I don't want anything to kind of like overshadow it coming, so it'll be after its release, so after September.
Okay. Let's keep September for Volatile King for right now. I'm excited. I'm like Nash. I need my Nash.
Oh, you're going to get a lot of Nash in this book. You'll be the Nash lovers are going to get a lot of
I'm
Nash.
excited when I saw that. I was like, "Ooh, Nash is coming!" I mean, not that he wasn't there for the other stuff, but I'm be like,
He is the pushiest character I have, and he always makes every scene go sideways. It never goes the way that I think it's going to. As soon as he hits the room, like he's just like, "No, I'm taking over."
he's chaotic. He's very.
He is.
It's half the time it's not even about him, and it's all of a sudden ended up. It's all about Nash.
About him. Yeah, he's just like, it's about me.
Right. Hi, I'm still here. You can't forget about me. And I think that's why Ren avoids him.
She's just like, oh God. He's too much. He's too much. Yeah.
Colleen, you need to like get on it. Get on reading.
You know what? I'm going to disconnect. You guys can chat. Let me just say my piece. All right. So thank you. That brings us to the end. And thank you so much. It was so much fun. I love it when it's lively and we can joke and chat. And I appreciate your time. That brings us to the end, folks. So be sure to follow us on our Instagram page, Unfiltered Romance Nights. If you have any authors or topics you would like us to discuss, you can send us a DM on Instagram. That's all. See you next time.
See ya.
Thank you.